Yo, what's going on? It is the Nerds of Combat live stream here, and we got introduce yourself because y'all change your names every once in a while.
I am forever and always admin Negro Lantern.
I'm always admin Thor. The fuck is that?
Admin Batman.
Admin Gara.
And I am Admin Magic, of course. And the topic for today is Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery going into the DC universe. How many can they take out? What tier are they in? And pretty much, we're just gonna go free baller from there. So let's start off with the main one. Is of course Green Goblin.
So, you want to power scale them first before trying to say, like, the big
We're gonna
enough
power
Batman?
scale. We're gonna power scale them and then go from there.
Okay, well, I have Green Goblin above Batman. I have all of them above Batman. That's the minimum.
All of them?
All
of them?
Still
I
not
would say-
especially.
I would say for me, Green Goblin is a equivalent, and of course the Green Goblin who's a human, not all beastly. But I would compare Green Goblin to Black Manta for sure, somewhere up in there.
You reckon he could fight Black Manta?
What?
Do you reckon he could fight Black Manta?
Green Goblin for
Yeah.
sure.
Magic, get him!
I think-
There you go.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's pretty much like you saying. So pretty much it's gonna be Aquaman versus Spider-Man.
So Black Manta isn't Aquaman's equal.
Black
He
Manta
just knows
is
how.
underwater Iron Man with less money and less intelligence.
So again,
Okay, so
Black
we gon-
Manta isn't Aquaman's equal. Black Manta is just the combatant for Aquaman. Never has Black Manta been Aquaman's equivalent.
I mean, of course, there's Orem, which is his brother, and Ocean Master, and then Orem. So I mean, those are his equivalent. I mean, he can barely beat his wife, but we're not gonna get into that.
Spawn can beat his wife.
Yeah, because Black Manta still takes those L's. Let's put it in perspective. He still takes those L's, and the same thing goes for Green Goblin. It's not like Green Goblin's always taking on Parker and Parker's best. That's not happening. We know Parker could easily take off Scorpion's jaw off in the suit. So it's not. Yeah, it's not. Let's keep things in perspective, in context.
Right.
So I honestly believe none of them get above Blue Beetle.
I think Blue Beetle is too. I see. That's crazy because I would say Blue Beetle is mad high.
Yeah.
So
What about
Blue Beetle is an invasionist. You know what I mean? Like an invasion breaks out, Blue Beetle's definitely fighting off that invasion. You know what I mean?
And we're
Like,
talking about Jaime Reyes, right? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about Ted Cord?
no,
Yeah, we're not talking about dead Blue Beetle.
yeah, we're
the
not talking about
best
the
version?
we're not talking about the Blue Beetle with the costume that just puts on a costume and says, "Hey, I'm the Blue Beetle." Well, no, he doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Scarab, okay, yeah.
That should have been what I was saying. Like, why do we need to point that?
No, yeah, we're not talking about no Ted Cord. No. Anyway,
Yo, don't disrespect Ted Cord.
so yeah, like I said, I don't got nobody in the Rogues going above Blue Beetle. And if you want to go lower than that,
I mean, the most you again, as I said before, I think the strongest thing you got is literally Mysterio and Sandman.
You're forgetting about.
You know,
I'm gonna say
The
they can
symbiotes?
probably keep up with the Flash.
well, that's the thing.
Well, you know what? That's fair. That's fair to say. But in recent years, Venom hasn't really been a Spider-Man enemy, so it didn't cross my mind.
It's like
So
Carnage as well.
admittedly, I wouldn't have said Venom. Carnage is a good argument. Carnage didn't cross my mind. So yeah,
I think like it's
but
all but two symbiotes are currently Spider-Man's villains. There's Venom and then that other one that was like the fucking one from wherever Gladiator's from. I can't remember the Kree symbiote.
see, that's the thing. It's just like all the symbiotes are above that now. They're Carnage getting with everybody now, and Venom is with everybody now. He was a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's no longer an anti-Venom really. So
to this day, man, Space Knight Venom, my favorite Venom. Space Knight Venom.
Design, like,
Again, that's one of those situations where it's like, I kept saying Venom was basically a Green Lantern, and sure enough, they go and make him a Green Lantern. Yeah.
So let's see what we got. Green Goblin. Does
Dr.
Batman?
Ock.
Well,
Mysterio?
All right, do you want to
Well, I
go
mean,
power skill? There's some still power
Mysterio's
skill.
definitely up there. If you go comic Mysterio, I mean Mysterio's gat alone. Well, let me not say gat. Mysterio gat alone. You know, Mysterio good. It's crazy. You know?
Straight tier right there.
Forgive me, nerd community.
but no. So we got Green Goblin. Okay, so this is pretty much going to be because of a video that we saw of Marvel versus DC. The reason why we're going into this. And
Yo, that's what we should have did. Yo, so let's turn back here, right? Let's turn back here if we can all agree, because this approach, I don't like it. I think me and Magic are on the same page about this. I think even you two thought, like, I don't like this. We should not be trying to scale these rogues because, as Magic said, like the tiering system.
Oh no, he's going to say it. DC's weak.
No, we won't get anywhere. Let's go the approach that we all, I assume everyone here watched the video, right? Me and you, Thor, we watched this video a while back.
Yeah.
We watched the video, and it's two Englishmen going back and forth about DC, Marvel, who's better, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so we're doing Marvel versus DC, and we're going to go off a couple of questions what they had, such as who has the more iconic villains, Marvel or DC? Not most powerful, not most hacks abilities. I'm talking about most iconic, Marvel or DC, and make your arguments.
DC.
DC. Cosmic Raptor.
It's not even a villain. Stop.
DC.
Wait, hold
But
on.
no,
This chicken
DC has a small edge over Marvel because of the Joker.
I'm gonna say Marvel. I'm gonna say Marvel simply because of Spider-Man. Marvel has the more iconic villains.
The thing about it is, it's just like
Thanos, and he's not a Spider-Man rogue.
But for Thanos, I have a dark side.
You're confusing my reason for like my choice. My choice still is Marvel. Thanos is still.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course.
It is just like that's the thing. It's just like and I'm not even gonna go off the Batman Rogues Gallery because that's simple enough. Because of course you have the Joker, which is when it comes to almost anybody's fear of clowns, it's either it or the Joker. And then you have Poison Ivy, who has changed, but beforehand was iconic as well, being in an iconic, famous lesbian relationship with Harley Quinn. But we could really go into Darkseid.
Yeah.
Then we could go into Doomsday, the character that was created for killing Superman, and then go on from there. So, I mean, at least that's my argument. For every Thanos, the only character that I can say is just as iconic as the rest of them is Doom. Doctor Doom. I can say Doctor Doom is up there. There's no for any character that I can name, you can say Doctor Doom, and it's just like, oh, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, Doctor Doom is everywhere. Ironically, we just spoke about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Doctor Doom. All right. So, will DC in movies catch up to Marvel?
No.
No.
Not in the slightest.
Not everybody at once, goddammit. I can't say that. I can't say that. There are DC movies that aren't as jaw-dropping as the MCU, but admittedly still enjoyable movies when you take away your fandom. And that's just facts, man. Like, you take away your fandom, still enjoyable movies, I think all movies have their flaws. The Justice League movie more than most, but if I'm not watching it with some expectation, it's a good cinematic film, man. Just to be fair, just to be fair, DC hasn't done so bad that it's irredeemable. You know, like Suicide Squad, great movie. I mean, whether people want to agree or not, it clearly is getting a second one. Right? When DC feels like they didn't do something right, they don't double down. It's just facts. You know, there are a huge amounts of people who enjoyed Birds of Prey. You know, I avoid it like the plague.
No.
Man of Steel, in my opinion, Man of Steel is the best comic book conversion movie. Period. I think Wonder Woman is trash, but people fucking love it. Like I just, you know,
I think
Shazam was fucking trash. People
You're a liar. You're a fucking liar.
What the fuck? Get
I'm
the
sorry.
fuck outta here.
I agree with that. Shazam was trash. I'm sorry. It was
I
trash.
agree. I agree.
Fuck all that.
Aquaman is visually good. You don't even have to like the story of Aquaman to just enjoy how the visuals of the movie was great. So if you don't have an expectation, Aquaman is great. Like if you have an expectation, Aquaman is going to let you down. If you don't, Aquaman is a great film to just watch.
So in the past,
Watchmen, great movie.
True. Yeah. In the past 20 years, movies aside, who has done more with their characters as far as storylines and character progression?
Marvel.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
I don't know if I can. Is there a way to say one over the other?
Yes.
In the past 2 decades? Are you serious?
Well,
Yeah,
consider
that's a
this,
lot,
right?
bro.
So DC had like what? The same 3 characters, their big trinity, the exact same for the whole 20 years that this has happened. Marvel had a full, like, you know, thing where Thor's gone, let's bring Jane Foster in, there's Cap gone, let's bring in Falcon, all this jazz. Like, that was a big thing. Like, that was definitely more, character progression, and, you know, was the big thing that they did with Superman and Batman, give them kids.
I mean, well, the Trinity was pretty good. I thought Conversion was pretty good. I thought.
It's a tie. They both have
The what is it? The not Death in the Feather. What is it? Killing Joke. Killing Joke. I thought was pretty good.
Did that come in the past 20 years?
It's not.
No, we're talking about from 2000 to 2020.
Yeah.
So you're talking about pretty much a Death in the Family. I honestly would probably say
Rebirth.
that's the thing. I would probably say Marvel up until about 20, pretty much when Rebirth happened. Because of course in 2000 to 2011 you still had Post-Crisis, so they were all pretty much from 1985 to 2011. They were pretty much the same. But then the New 52.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. What was you about to say?
I'm assuming from you guys, from your guys' perspective, it's it's those characters are still the same characters, not the things that happened to them. As where in Marvel, they just literally passed on mantles. Because for me, that I don't know, I didn't really consider, you know, I forget the kid's name, but Kid Nova taking over for Richard Rider, even though Richard Rider was killed off in the comics. Like, I didn't really find that to be anything progressive. It just, you know, you really race changed the character. You didn't actually do any developing. You know, Kamala Khan, you didn't really do any developing. You just race changed the character. You know, the Sam Wilson was legitimate. I mean, that had foundation.
I like Kamala Khan. To me, is one of the best new characters out of Marvel. To me,
I agree with Matt. Yeah, that I don't know what he's talking about with Miss Marvel with Kamala. That is way different.
Kamala trash, boy. Trash, boy.
I don't even like her, and that is not just a reason.
Yeah, okay. Well, please enlighten me. Please enlighten me, because I actually own her first issue. Please tell me where her character progression came from. I'll wait.
I just think from the time of being an Inhuman and figuring out your powers and character development and going from there to being your own superhero, and then Dylan, of course, being dealing with the Avengers and dealing with Miss Marvel's legacy and trying to create your own and being a Pakistani hero in America and going through that as well. Through all that character progression, I think she's one of the best things to come out of Marvel.
Well,
I do.
And she's the leader of the champions. That's a big step for a young hero like that. She's the leader of the whole group of champions, and there's like 20 of those motherfuckers.
They did grow.
I think like
They was just like, let's just take all the young heroes and just put them on one team and just see what happens.
But that made sense though. They should have. I mean, I don't know if y'all remember. I don't know why Marvel got away from it, but remember Marvel had that Young Heroes Academy. You know, right. You know, with that introduction to Miles and stuff like that. You know, he was learning from that hero school. That was, to me, that made sense. I mean, even now, you have the match thing going on with
Strange Academy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was really good. But the problem is Kamala did such. I mean, I get it, guys. She's her own hero. What's her name again?
Miss Marvel.
Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel. Yeah.
She's a legacy character. Come on, now she got the blessing though.
Race bending.
Right. One second.
Wow.
Should we not talk about like the failures of
I like
character
it, bro. I
progression?
like the fact that Kamala makes it clear that she likes the smell of pork. I thought that was dope.
You thought that was dope, nigga?
I think the fact that her parents ran a butcher shop is great for a Muslim child. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
The failures of character progression, like from both things, to compare it to see like who did the better one. Because like,
So I'm outvoted. It's so Marvel wins this one. Obviously, I just don't like the race changes, man. I don't like the race changes.
Don't get me wrong. I hate it too. Don't get me wrong. I'm almost a comic purist in that instance of keep the characters what it is, and this is what it is, and don't try to race change because then that's how the movies get influenced, and then the movies come back, and it's just like, bro, we don't need a black. Dang it. Johnny
Superman.
Storm.
We don't need I don't want a black Superman. I didn't ask for that. Will Smith told me it's two things you don't take from white people: they God and they Superman. Like that's what.
Wow.
Bro, I don't want no black Superman either. Just like I didn't want a black Firestorm.
well, we're getting a black Batman, so.
I mean, on a side note, I'm
No.
kind of upset.
Hell no to that too.
Batwoman.
You're black Catwoman.
No, Black Batwoman and
Batwoman.
the CW show.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
That was stupid. I don't know why they're doing that. I mean, I guess I'm gonna run with it, but it's stupid.
I feel like that's just something DC does in the comics. Not to sidetrack us, but I feel like when DC has like female characters, obviously sexually drawn female characters, and they don't know what to do with them, they just make them lesbian. Because people were like, we don't want no gay Batwoman, but in the comics, I mean, there's clearly evidence to the case, and then you just think about it: Will Harley, Poison Ivy, and this list goes on. I think even Wonder Woman has had some particular kind of
She's openly bisexual. It has no qualms about it.
We know.
But the thing is, for Wonder Woman, it makes sense.
I didn't realize that.
Well, yeah, for Wonder Woman, especially given the nature for which she was created. I'm sorry, I didn't even hear you. Go ahead.
No, I was saying when I first got introduced to the CW shows, they were great, but then I didn't realize that they made a character gay on every single CW show, and it was like, why are you forcing it down my throat? Like,
oh.
Yeah, I mean, you think that's bad? Did you see Watchmen? Jeez,
I haven't watched Watchmen. It looks trash. Like
it is. It's very trash. It's very, very trash. Oh my God.
I was watching Watchmen and I was like, I'm tired of being a heterosexual.
Oh, this guy's out of control.
It ain't that I wanted to be gay. I just didn't want to be a part of nothing after watching that guy. I was ready to be a tree.
Oh my God. Oh man. So DC has done everything first, as far as like coming out first, things of that nature. As far as Marvel goes, which Marvel hero would you think would do well in the DC universe, and vice versa?
Moon Knight.
All of them.
Black Bolt.
because the DC universe is dark enough. You know what I mean? Like it's gritty enough to put Moon Knight there next to Azrael. I mean, pretty much it goes without saying in the entire Bat setting. You know what I mean? Like that's not comparing characters, but that is a
Where's Cookie?
DC period major landscape that is absolutely dark. So yeah, 100%. Excuse me, sorry.
Gotcha.
I got Black
Thor?
Bolt. Like I think just seeing Black Bolt walk up into the DC universe and being like, "I am king," and then blowing up like half the city. It's just is what it is. Like what's like you got like Black Bolt coming in. He's gonna be. It's like basically like what happened in the shitty Inhumans show. Where like everyone's trying to stop him, and it's just like, well, I'm the king of the Inhumans. Get the fuck away from me. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Gar?
I'm gonna say Venom. I can see Venom in DC real easy. He could blend in real good because he plays the line of is he a hero, is he a villain, is he too brutal? I think he could fit.
Right.
Batman?
Shoot. I personally think any of them, but I think a good one for me would be Black Panther. Let's throw another king in the DC universe.
So
What, just so they get the same Namor story again?
that's what I was saying.
It
Like,
would be the same
cause-
Namor story
Yeah,
because Black Panther would wipe out.
Oh, I'm so
Honestly,
sorry.
no. I think realistically, I think Black Panther will beat up on Aquaman because Aquaman is not as brutal as Namor.
I mean,
Black Panther might bully him.
I mean, Black
Panther's
Panther
gonna
bullied
be
Namor.
Black Panther.
Exactly. Black Panther bullied Namor, and Namor is way tougher than Aquaman.
I could see quite a few. Batman, of course, would easily fit.
Definitely.
He would easily fit. I would actually want to see Wonder Woman because for all of the gods and celestials that Marvel has, it's really only and this is the same thing with DC's problem. It's like you focus too much on one mythology. With Marvel, it's the Norse mythology, and with DC, it's Greek. I would love to see more interaction. Of course, you bring it in Wonder Woman, so you bring it into Amazon, so you bring it in Greek mythology into the Marvel Universe, being on the same toe. Yeah, we see Zeus every once in a while dealing with Odin, but it's not like, it's okay. It's Odin, Thor, Heimdall, Sith, and then everybody else. And you might see some Beta Ray Bill thrown in there every once in a while. But I would like to see them I would like to see the Council of Godheads. Like
I think for Marvel, the thing is like Marvel has that original set in stone mythos. Like with Mephisto and then the Celestials. Celestials, and then like the Elder. There's a title for them, but basically the elders of like the universe, like the Collector, and so on and so forth. I think that's the thing. I think they build. I think from what we consistently see, if you look at the Guardians of the Galaxy, if you look at the Avengers, if you look at the solo Thor runs, I think consistently they just build in-house. You know what I mean? Because like, for example, this stuff going on with Mephisto. That's been building up for years since Ben Reilly came back to the comics. That's a really long arc.
That's true. Also, Guardians of the Galaxy, I would love to see them in DC because we need somebody more than the Lantern Corps and everybody getting like gold and platinum lanterns and all different types of colors and the ultraviolet lanterns. And it's just like now we got the Far Sector, which by the way, that is coming out next week, and I'm so getting that because I love that story so much.
You gotta review it
I'm
live.
so obsessed with Far
Yeah,
Sector.
Review it live.
that artwork is so. Whew, man.
You know who I want to see in Marvel from DC? Simon Baz. The Green Lantern that they introduced with Jessica Cruz, and they just fucked him off. I don't know why. He was a great character, and just fucking dumped them away. Bunch of bitches.
Because what makes it hard for the Green Lanterns in that case is because we have 6 of them. We have 6 main ones. So it's just like you can't give them all screen time. So and plus he got a bet. He got a. Well, hold on. We got Jessica Cruz, Baz, the
Kyle
original
Rayner,
4.
uh,
Yeah.
John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, and then the new girl.
You're just counting the Earth Sector ones.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm just counting Earth Sector. I'm not going to the Far Sector.
Is the Far Sector girl not human as well?
But not yes and no. She has a human appearance, but she's so far off into the known universe that it's like I said, she has her own lantern by herself.
Right.
Like she is her own Lantern Corps.
So sex from the humans. Yeah.
Yeah, so he just takes a human appearance. So it's just like not all of them can get screen time. But what makes Simon Baz so bad is that he got partnered up with Jessica Cruz. So it's just like now you're not only splitting it between the 6, but now you're also splitting it in between 1 and 2. So and Jessica Cruz apparently is the more popular character.
Yeah, somehow I don't know. Like they give Simon Baz like 2 big things, right? And then they never talk about it, right? He got the Emerald Sight, which allows him to see into the future, like the near future. And then he's got like healing abilities, which are on par or above Hal Jordan's Lantern's capabilities of healing. And then they just
which if I remember correctly, wasn't he able to bring somebody back to life?
Yeah, somebody was dead and he brought them back to life. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure like the person just died, and that's why he was able to do it because it was just after his death.
Yeah, and I think it was somebody close to Simon.
Yeah.
So it's just like. Because it's hard to do It's hard to do a Marvel versus DC because, of course, we all respect both companies so much. Even us that have our biases and our preferences.
I think Batwing would shine in the Marvel landscape.
Honestly, I think Lady Shiva would as well. Pretty much, I think anybody
can you ask that one more time? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Batwing and Shiva.
I think pretty much anybody that's under the Batman mythos or Batman affiliation would do great in Marvel and that's the thing I have a problem with DC is that, which is why we was having an argument earlier in the chat before we got on here, is that the bar is different because the bar actually shouldn't even be Batman. The bar, if you want to put a bar on there, should probably be Deathstroke. Honestly, the bar should be Deathstroke or whoever's above Deathstroke, like Lady Zealot. That should be the bar as far as dealing with street tier characters, not Batman. The problem is that everybody's tiered to Batman, and Batman's still only a regular human with a extraordinary suit. While in Marvel, you got Spider-Man, who's the bar, and you have his rogue gallery, that's the bar. You have Luke Cage's, which is the bar. Iron Fist, Elektra, like. Pretty much anybody in Spider-Man's or Daredevil's Rogues Gallery.
Anybody from New York.
Yeah.
Anybody from fucking New York.
Anybody that's not an Avenger that deals in the streets of New York, that is the tier that you're basing it off of. And all of those, and most of those people are above Batman. So it's just like if we do Elektra versus Lady Shiva, yeah, I can say Lady Shiva high difficulty, but I would have to absolutely prove without a shadow of a doubt that she can beat Elektra. And I honestly can and maybe can, but it's going to be very, very hard for me to do so because most of the time she's either in the League of Assassins, which deals with Batman, or she deals with Batman in the Bat family personally, which is hard to do because Batman doesn't even use superpowers.
All right, Static. I mean, Magic, excuse me.
You can get mad at me for saying Batman all you want to.
Enough of that shit.
I'm just saying. And this is coming from the DC. I'm also known as the DC Encyclopedia for those that don't know. So anything DC, I'm the aficionado in. Batman ain't that guy. I need y'all to stop. I need all of y'all to stop. He is not that guy. I don't care what
we lost all our viewers right there. This nigga's just like, no, we don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Fuck this goddamn podcast. It's just going down the hill. Nah.
Just like Jared Allen said, can he make a suit that doesn't get him stabbed? Can he make
that
was
the realest shit ever.
Can he make a suit that doesn't get him, let alone shot, just stabbed? Just have him not be stabbed. Like in the first issue of the Three Jokers, you see this man with scars all around his body from being hit with the Riddler staff to being shot.
But those are all stabs from Nth Metal.
That is not
Batman to
stop. No, Joey, hold on. No, stop. Hold on. No. I know you did not try to pull that F metal bullshit.
I
No.
pulled that shit out. Yes,
Try
I
and
did.
say Riddler has nth metal stuff.
F metal where? Oh, Riddler
They've been
gets F
stabbing that
metal
nigga
from.
with F metal since goddamn Darkseid War and all that shit.
Boy, stop. Batman just ain't that dude. Stop it. He's
Don't
not.
treat
He's
that
not.
metahuman that way.
What
He
metahuman?
said don't treat. He's not a
Because he got
metahuman.
this because he got some dynesium in his back. Stop.
He's
That's
not a
all-
metahuman.
Metahuman.
According to Scott Snyder, he's not a metahuman. We can't say that.
Yo, old boy, I cannot get over how old boy rushed to Twitter. Batman is not metahuman. Anyway, what was the question? What was the next question?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I had to get on that Batman rant for a second. Because, like,
Get the fuck out of here.
like Batman almost makes me not like DC sometimes because of the the fandom gets on my nerves. Like, it's just.
I can't express that enough, man. I am a Batman fan, but the fucking
You're a
fans,
liar,
bro.
Joey.
But speaking of which, when it comes
Nah,
to
I'm fucking with you.
fandoms, which
I don't know
fan-
what was I supposed to fight you on? Like I can't make you believe I'm a Batman fan. Like if I wasn't, I wouldn't even make the effort to say that. So because literally we're on a recording and somebody would be able to use that against me later.
Right.
So how do y'all feel about the MCU fandom when it comes to Marvel? That is my next question. How do y'all feel
We're not that bad.
Okay. And especially when I say that, when Chadwick Boseman died, rest in peace, by the way. When
No
he
Black
died,
Furies. No Black Panther Shuri.
Oh, hot take once again.
All right. Thanks for that, Joey. We appreciate it.
But no,
No.
I'm about to say, who out there ringing some horns? No, I got you. But the MCU, when it comes to that, how do y'all feel? Does it influence the Marvel comics too much?
Admin
Some?
Batman, I will pay you $5 to put your face on screen.
I'm sorry.
Smile.
Let me sit down. I'm sorry.
But no, when it comes to that, what is your gripes about the MCU when it comes to Marvel? The comic
the
book
fan
line.
base, the fan base or the comics.
Both.
Like
We can go with both.
I'm sorry. I meant to say the MCU fan base or the comics.
Yeah.
So if nobody else wants to pop this off, I'll say for me, I don't like when they try to so we're obviously part of the versus community, but trying to do versus between the MCU versus the DCEU, it's just not what's up, man. First off, there's context there that clearly you're not. So, for example, me and Admin Thor, we had a debate with an individual about Thor and Superman, right? Based on the cinematic versions of both characters. The things this guy was saying just made no sense. You know what I mean? These arguments he was making made no sense because these were out of context things based on his perception of the directing style. Right, so the way that speedsters moved, the Kryptonian speedsters moved in the Man of Steel movie and in the Batman versus Superman movie, that was a directive choice, right? That's an artistic choice when you see that visually, and because it looks super swift to him, he was downplaying the movements of Thor. In the Age of Ultron, the first Thor movie, which clearly showed how fast Thor was moving across the land of the Frost Giants, right? Just stupid fast, yet that was nothing. Or even in the horrible Thor 2 movie, when the Hammer literally traveled trying to catch up with Thor, he literally, because these things didn't look swift to him, he was adamant about planting his flag on that hill. And that happens a lot on both sides, that people are taking these directive perspectives and trying to make feats out of them, and it's like that's not you're not keeping up with the story at this point, right? Like, you're not following the actual feat, and I don't care for that. As far as the comics go, for me, it's the tiering system, which obviously you've touched on a couple times now. It's that tiering system. It's that when people try to compare characters from both households, regardless of what you like and who you don't like, the tiering system is clear. And as you said, it shouldn't be Batman, but it is. And it's Batman to Superman for DC, and for Marvel, it's Spider-Man to Thor. And when you scale between the two respective, or when those two perspectives, I'll put it like that, when you scale between those two perspectives, it doesn't match the arguments most people make. Yeah. You know, it's like someone, you know, I think in the anime community, they have the same problems with Bleach and Naruto. You know, like, you're not measuring these perspectives correctly at all. No matter how many people join in with you, it's still not correct.
Yeah. So I got you, because like you said, and when it comes to female characters, well, not characters in general, it's based off the Trinity. Yes. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. And how high you are or how low you are based on is what you can do against those characters. But then you have outliers such as, for instance, Ra's al Ghul going against Wonder Woman. I forget what issue it is, but they're having a sword fight. And for a moment, you're like, oh, Ra's al Ghul can handle Wonder Woman, until Wonder Woman says, like, I need to stop playing, and I'm going to knock you out. Like, things like that. But people will take that out of context and will be like, oh, this sword fight, you can see Ra's al Ghul being able to go with Wonder Woman, so Ra's al Ghul is able to go against Black Panther, or blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, no.
Well, what about people that use the Heroes in Crisis Harley Quinn beating on the Trinity for, like, them, like, what, 5-6 pages?
Oh.
Because that was the context. It wasn't like, we need to stop playing. It was just, I'm going to arrest you now, Harley, and then she did all that.
No. Not only Harley and Booster Gold. Yeah. Like, that whole sequence of them killing Wally West, Arsenal, going against the Trinity, that whole segment was bullshit.
Yeah, Heroes in Crisis is a shit story. Anyone who says differently is an idiot. Sorry to say it to you, Batman.
Just like, because Wally West has been confirmed not only once, but multiple times to be the fastest Flash in the DC universe. Period. Bar none. It's not even a question. And yet he got shot in the head by Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, who, mind you, has some incredible feats of her own, being able to hold her own against Batman, being a part of the Suicide Squad, in which they deal with people like Zod and Lobo and things of that nature. So she can hold her own. There is no question about that. However, that is as a team effort. That is not something solo.
Did you read Heroes in Crisis? I thought, like, the big reveal was Wally West was behind it all.
Yeah, in which that was also dumb. Which is why
Assassination is a shit series, yeah.
Which is why Dan Dido is out of DC. Thank the Lord, because he hated. I'm sorry, he hated the Teen Titans as a whole. Which is why Nightwing got shot and was with amnesia. Wally West got killed. The Teen Titans as a whole got destroyed. The Titans as a whole got destroyed because he didn't like them characters. It was just like, nope. Goodbye. Thank you, Jim Lee, for stepping up. Thank the Lord.
Yes, sometimes these comic companies, like, sometimes I don't know, I think their motto is, we need somebody to shake up the landscape. Get that nigga with the voice. I think he'll do us justice. Admin Gara, Admin Batman, you guys are quiet on this. How do y'all feel? What is the thing that gets under y'all's skin?
Go ahead, Batman.
For Batman, it's gonna be Batman. Every time we get on him about Batman, that
nigga just got a line of coke prepared for you in this bullshit. Look at him.
You heard him a few moments earlier. All right, we're gonna stop that shit now about Batman. But nah,
yo,
man.
He's saying something we can't. He muted himself. Look at him. Unprofessional. Unfucking professional.
Nah, I'm sorry. There we go. I'm back. Nah, the Batman haters are a little annoying, but I would say
We're
most of
Batman.
it was
We're
really-
Batman haters because you threw a symbol on top of your head. All right. You're the fool of
Nah,
nobody. Go ahead, Curls. Them wings.
Overall, this DC storylines, they've been bothering me a little bit lately.
Oh, here we go. I wish Jared. I wish Admin Jared was here. Oh my
Nah,
God.
we're not gonna talk about that. All I'm gonna say is that lately for me, Marvel has just been easier with connecting the dots. The tie-ins and the main storylines all seem to fit.
Have you read Empire?
Yeah. I haven't finished it, so don't tell me. I've only gotten to issue 3.
Oh my God. You want to talk about a clusterfuck? That's almost as bad as death metal.
Yeah, I do think the you know, on the subject of when you mentioned, you know, DC letting go of a writer, I do think Marvel making the choice to let Donny Cates and Jason Aaron like take the reins, man, like was a phenomenal move, man. I just wish I wish Warren Ellis and Jeff Lemire was a part of that, but like letting those two individuals take control has seemed so far to be a very solid move, man. It seems like we're getting, I don't know, I felt like there was a comic drop for a while, and it seems like now we're getting back comics. Like, I know there was still issues on the shelves, right? But like, they were going nowhere. They weren't captivating. You were always waiting for them to go back to issue 1, right? Like, what's going on with the current Avengers run? It's just I can't give enough credit, man. It's the best Avengers run I've read since Avengers World.
Yeah. Just like letting go of Brian Michael Bendis off of Superman comics, they're finally getting back right now with Superman because and then he wants to create another black character. I understand, Bendis, that you got black daughters. I understand. But the same thing that you did with Riri, like, it's going to take somebody black to handle a black character. I forget her name that's taken over the Riri comics, but she has been doing phenomenal since she has taken over for Riri.
That Riri pink and black outfit, oh my God. That's so dope.
Can we talk about something for a second? So I was super hyped about Legion of Superheroes, right? So because I got like literally all of them, right? I got the latest one, right? And then they fucked me over, right? I don't know if you can see that, right? But do you know who's writing it? Fucking Bendis.
Hold on, man. I'm a Brian Michael Bendis fan. Y'all calm that bullshit down, man. You know, Brian Michael Bendis made the Century the man he is today.
I'll give him Miles Morales and the Century. Other than that, it is garbage.
I wouldn't even give Bendis. Admittedly, I wouldn't give him Miles. I wouldn't give him Miles.
Wait, did Bendis not introduce Kamala Khan? Reason's not praising her a few minutes ago.
What are you trying to make me? What are you trying to make me do? Hate Bendis, nigga? Shut up, dude.
I got a question. Hold on, I got a question.
All right.
No.
Here we go. Do you think that Marvel will ever give us more than just Quicksilver as far as speedsters, quote unquote, go?
Yeah.
Or do you think DC
Are you under the impression that Quicksilver is the only speedster in Marvel?
Do you know who Silver Surfer is?
Do you know who Thor is?
I'm talking about a real family of speedsters, a real family of just people that
Why would Marvel need to build a family of speedsters? What?
No.
I would love a Marvel version of the Flash.
What? No, God, no. I don't even want that. Oh, Jesus. I don't want, DC and Marvel have done their own copying over since the beginning. But Lord, since we have gotten into this new era of Marvel Comics and DC Comics, they have, okay, we're going to make our own stuff. We may take some inspirations, just like, DC, pretty much because Columbia Pictures and Sony Pictures had Spider-Man and the Hulk under wraps. They were like, okay, we're going to make our own Hulk. We're going to make our own Spider-Man. Those are blatant, shots at Marvel. But other than that, the Signal and other characters like that, they've been trying to do their own thing, really. And I don't want no Marvel version of the Flash. Why? So they have to create a Marvel version of the Speed Force, which would fit nowhere in their cosmology. at all. Like,
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, Thor, you got something? There's nothing off the top of my head.
No.
That's remotely. Yeah.
Like, why would you want to, like, I don't see why there'd be any need. Like, do you see how much of a clusterfuck the Flash family is at the moment just because of Wally
This was
West?
supposed to be professional, and you've already ruined it.
we done ruined it for some time now.
I don't give a fuck about
Yeah,
professionalism.
what the fuck?
Fuck the Flash family.
But yeah, no.
I'm
Like,
even drinking next time you say something that crazy. I'm gonna spew up the bitter beer face.
like,
Next
Like,
time we
that's
should all
the
do
thing,
a
it's
drunk
just-
podcast every
like,
time somebody
that's the
says
thing.
something
That's the
stupid.
thing. If you would have read DC Speed Metal, like, do you see how much of a cluster that is?
Yeah.
Like,
Yo, Speed Metal
Like-
was alright, but it was a clusterfuck. Yeah.
like,
It's
and you
hard
want
to
to
read.
and you want to add that to the Marvel universe? No,
No.
like nobody wants.
No.
Like no.
I'm
Like,
happy thinking that I'm happy with the thought that Marvel's smart enough as a collective of writers, right? Because obviously it's not just one collective mind, but like as a collective of writers, they're conscious enough to know that writing about speedsters just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I just no,
Like-
No, what. They don't make sense. I don't care how much you like the Flash. The Flash being a part of the Justice League does not make sense at all. He's a speedster. While he's doing anything, everybody else is not. That doesn't make any sense. Batman should not be going toe to toe with somebody in the room where the Flash is. The Flash should have already mopped that nigga. Don't make no.
I'm just saying, like, and he's exactly right. Barry Allen can think at an attosecond. We can't even, as normal human beings, perceive an attosecond.
Nigga,
Like-
that's faster than Domino's deliveries, nigga.
Like-
Nigga.
Like, he's faster than this. Not only, like I said, the speed of thought, an attosecond. He can run through time. He can break. The Flash can break time. The
He can turn
Flash.
into the Hulk. Nigga, remember that nigga? That fucking force strength, nigga, that fucking speed force bullshit.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
done.
And then him and Barry Allen and Wally West break through the source wall and get the Speed Force, the Sage Force, the Strength Force, the Universal Force, and it's just like, bruh. The Steel Force. Like, come on, bruh. Like, no. Like, how would you equate that in the Marvel universe? They don't even have a source wall. Like, it's just eternity. Eternity is the source wall. Like, you can't even equate that. Just like we already got enough Superman copies on both universes. We already got enough Batman quote unquote copies in both universes.
What's
Like,
wrong, Joey? Why'd you make that face when he said Superman copies on both universes?
I think
Why you made
that's
that
why.
face?
Kids need it.
No,
I mean-
speak on it, Joey. Hyperion, Sentry.
But
Hold on, nope, hold on. You was breaking up a minute.
the goddamn kids walked over there near me, boy. I'm just moving for some peace. I'm fine.
But no, I mean, it's just no, like, boy, just stop. The Flash and the Marvel. No, like that. Oh my God, that might have been the worst thing that you said today. Like, and that's saying a lot.
Damn you, Magic. Damn
We
you.
need to get
That is
like
the worst thing.
next
you have said
podcast. We all
today.
need to get like alcohol and take a shot every time Georgie says something stupid that we don't agree with.
No,
No,
No.
no,
I'm trying to get
no.
real
I don't
quick.
want to die.
Let's do it.
I'm not
Let's
trying
do
to
it.
die. I am not trying
I'm
to
fine.
die.
I'm Irish. I'll be fine.
Y'all see why I said no before he even asked the question. Now, huh?
Nah, man, shut the fuck up.
I'm Irish. It's just another Saturday night
I-
for me, lads.
It's like, oh my God, like,
You gonna make me have to light up.
This is just niggas hanging out now. This is just way to go, Georgie. Way to go.
like, bro, I can't. I still can't get over the fact of you saying that Flash should be in the Marvel universe. Like, I don't understand. Like, there is no earthly. Like I said, I don't want that, and I have a preference of DC. I don't want DC. I don't want Marvel to be like, oh yeah, let's take some ideas and go over to Marvel. No, I'm actually, like Joey said, I'm actually glad of now that Marvel and DC as a collective are just like, okay, we can make our own shit without copying some motherfuckers. So, oh god, these.
I think it's crazy. You think Quicksilver's the only speedster?
Okay, we all need to stop this.
All
All right, next
We're
topic.
off,
Next
okay?
topic.
Yeah, next topic.
Okay,
God damn it.
right. Okay, what about this thing about, like, you know, statements over feats? How does everyone feel about that? For an example, right? Okay, so going back to that MCU versus DCEU thing, the guy that me and Joey were arguing with, main crux of argument with Superman was there was a newspaper article saying that Superman supposedly stopped tectonic plates to stop an earthquake, like held them together, ignoring the fact that he struggled to hold up an oil tanker in the same movie, because I'm pretty sure it was Man of Steel. He was struggling against whatever it was, the fucking beam thing with all the gravity.
The World Engine.
The World Engine, that one. Even though I'm pretty sure like it wasn't that considerably strong, considering a plane took down another one.
And Lois Lane was still in place while the World Engine was going on. So
right?
yeah,
like it didn't seem that strong. And the next best feat we have for Superman is picking up that whole building in the Justice League movie. Like from all the feats of strength we've seen from Superman, like nothing showed him being able to hold tectonic plates together. But,
Them goddamn
but like still, this newspaper article is like his main crux. Like, should we just take like statements like that at face value or what?
Because the thing about that is, it's just like yes and no. Like, okay, you could say Superman held two tectonic plates together. Okay, cool, fine. You said it's in a newspaper article. Okay. Thor was able to hold a star. A star.
The crazy thing is, that's the argument we made. he was like, his ace in the hole was Superman taking the nuke, fighting Doomsday, right? And he was talking about the center point, which, mind you, the center point of a nuke is hotter than the sun for literally not even seconds, because it eats its own fuel and dissipates. You know, fuck that, I'm a nigga with a book. Anyway, so he said, this nigga said that was hotter than the star. I mean, than the star because of the, you know, that center point being hotter than the sun, even though he didn't want to address the fact that that literally happens in a nanosecond. Like, so,
I think the other thing
the thing was, we were trying to, the thing that we were trying to express to him was that, first off, Thor didn't just take the power of a star. Take the hit and then drop. Thor was consistently channeling that while channeling other issues at the same time. The problem, I think, for Thor, or at least for me, if not for Admin Thor, is that when you say these feats that Superman did that was in the newspaper articles, based on the feats that Thor pointed out, right? The ones that we visually saw Superman do, where he struggled, you don't know what his point was doing those other feats. You don't know how long it took Superman to get those plates to, you know, fixed. You don't know how long it took Superman to do any other one of those things, or how much duress he was under. You have no proof of that. So it's not to say that Superman didn't accomplish those things. He clearly did. It's put in the universe, right? It's not like a comic. You're not going to be able to flip through and wait for the next issue to see it expanded on. It's a movie filtering you this information about his accomplishments, right? So nobody said it never happened. The problem is you don't know under what duress it happened.
Yeah.
Right? With Thor, you knew under what duress it happened. Thor literally went out there to something that was damn near, maybe one night and 1/10 the fucking solar system he was in, grabbed that shit, fucking squeezed it open, when literally, like, and then it withstood not only the strength of what it took to open the forger, but he withstood as much as he can to have forged a weapon, no less, right? He forged long enough to forge a weapon
that was able to go against the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep. And like, not to mention, right, because he was really, like, the dude was really focused on, like, you know, this, you know, the heat of the sun's, like, this nuke thing, right? Ignoring the fact that the dwarf star that Thor was holding up is, like, you know, even though it sounds, dwarf star sounds weaker than a normal star, it isn't. Especially when it was like, what was a white dwarf star or something, or a neutron star, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Like, it is far hotter than the normal sun. Like, there's just so many things. But no, it's just like, there's a lot of statements in comics and in like movies and stuff. They say, oh, characters are less powerful, and then they're not. Like just look at I think the best example, because it just got like fucked up, was all the shit with Dr. Manhattan. Oh, he's this strong? No, he isn't. Just got steamrolled. Like,
By DC's own doing.
yeah, like it is just like there's no point in like looking at a statement unless like the statement is followed through with like the imagery that you're seeing, such as like what is it?
And
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, and I was gonna say to piggyback off of that with Dr. Manhattan, when the New 52 started, right before Rebirth, they were like, "Oh yeah, Dr. Manhattan, Dr. Manhattan, Dr. Manhattan, Dr. Manhattan. He's the one that changed the past 10 years," which would be a huge feat. It would. If you were to keep it at Dr. Manhattan was able to do this, this, and this, there is no doubt that he is multiversal at that point. There's no doubt in that. He was able to change not only the past 10 years, but change characters' abilities and things of that nature. So that is a multiversal feat. However, now with DC Rebirth, and they were able to do that, and with Death Metal, they were like, none of that actually matters. He went against a real multiversal character and got stomped. Like it was nobody's business.
Which, mind you, I said this multiple times because literally you had no feats of him in combat with anyone near him. Like you didn't. Literally, everybody else he already knew how to handle when he showed up to the base, right? People try to mention what was it, the Watchtower, right? And he shows up or whatever.
And when he's on Mars and all the heroes come from Mars, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know about magic. You're the leftovers of the rest of the universe." It says go away and things of that nature. But then you see later on in Justice League Dark, Zatanna with Prep Time doing something that Dr. Manhattan couldn't even dream of doing. So pretty much, oh yeah, you don't mean anything. Superman, oh yeah, Dr. Manhattan, oh yeah, because of you, Superman, I'm going to change. Like, and I'm gonna make not only the current universe about you, but I'm gonna make the past and the future about you. And Perpetua was like, yeah, y'all no longer exist anymore. Goodbye. Having to be saved by the Quintessence. Goodbye. And then not only that, we're saved by the Quintessence, which consists of the most powerful people in the DC universe. And Perpetua was like, yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care.
Then my boy shows up, Cosmic Raptor, shits on her. Back at it again with the Cosmic Raptor.
Yeah, and it's just like, when Dr. Manhattan was put up against a real universal, the multiversal threat, it really showed you how insignificant he actually was. But people were up and down, were like, oh my God, Dr. Manhattan is this. Bruh, these feats do not match your statements. It's just like, bruh. And just like, yeah, it's pretty much, if you have the facts and the feats to be able to back up your statement, that overrides anything. No matter if it's manga.
It's not the Bible, bro. It's not the Bible. We need evidence.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Pow! Shots!
Can't wait to upload this.
But yeah, no, it's just like, yeah. Like, if you have the feats and everything, if you have the book in front of you saying, okay, Dr. Manhattan did this, cool. They put it out there. And then we'll have to be able to debate with you whether that's good enough or not. And if it's not, then I'm going to be able to put evidence out there, actual evidence that said, oh, well, okay, so Dr. Manhattan changed the past 10 years, right? Okay. He pretty much, took care of Owlman and Metreon on the moon when they were dealing with the Mobius chair. Past 10 years, things of that nature. Boom. Okay, well, here's Perpetua showing that same evidence using Dr. Manhattan's power and saying, yeah, no, that doesn't matter. Or I could go into the Batman Who Laughs using Dr. Manhattan as a body and being tricked by the Flashes. Using that same power. So it's just like, even your own power is useless. So...
And I think that was always evident, at least for me, man, because it was never there was never any situation where it was Dr. Manhattan versus somebody, right? It was always the fans saying,
plot device.
huh?
Yeah.
I said that's what you call a plot device. What you just said, Magic, that's all that was.
It's just like, bro. Oh, I do have a question.
That's not a fucking plot device. Shut the
Yes,
fuck
the fuck that is.
That's not a plot
Dr.
device. You
Manhattan should
can't
be
tell a
powerful for
story.
the plot.
Oh my god, you cannot tell a story without a plot device. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what.
No, I'm talking about purposely making someone powerful for one story, but then showing their true colors in the next story. That is a plot device.
George,
That's not a plot device. That's an outlier, almost, in a sense.
George, I'm gonna need you to be quiet before I see you enjoying the 5 o'clock news.
Wait. So you said making somebody do something in one story and then doing something with that same character in the next continuation, correct?
No, I said making somebody powerful for one story so they can overcome, but then in the next story, their true colors are shown.
That would be known as an outlier. That is not a plot device.
Y'all just heard him say the same thing I just said. Anyway, nigga, did that not push the story forward, nigga? You can't fucking have a story without plot-driven events.
But no, I do
Saying
have
plot device is not a good argument, nigga.
All right, next topic again.
Yeah, Magic got a question.
Who?
There, go ahead.
Fuck you, moderator.
Stupid.
who has the biggest plot device? DC or Marvel?
Joey.
Marvel? No, not Marvel. Sorry.
Oh, I almost said Image Comics because of Spawn. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying.
Marvel.
I'm gonna go DC for two reasons. One, the Thought Robot,
Oh, boy.
and two, the Miracle Machine.
I'm gonna go with DC for 2 words. Cosmic Raptor.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate on this, and I'm gonna say Marvel Ultimate Nullifier, and I'm gonna say Ultimate Nullifier and Beyonder like powers. Yeah.
Okay. So the White Knights. I think that's the name they're called. Or no, the Ivory Kings. My bad. Let me not be
Yeah, the
disrespectful.
Ivory Kings.
The Ivory Kings. Okay. So pretty. Gar-
One word. Batman.
Oh, never mind, y'all win. I can say it.
Wow.
But no, that's crazy though, because in the next
I
issue
thought we
of
was
Death
doing
Metal,
math. Y'all niggas came in with the motherfucking science and shit. Okay.
speaking of Batman, the next Death Metal book that comes out has the 3 words: Batman always wins.
No.
The rise.
It
The
won't,
rise.
be, it won't be main Batman. It'll be Batman from this time.
It'll be Batman from the Rainbow Corps, or Darkseid Batman, or hey DC, what can we do with Batman? Yes.
It'll be Batman who laughs, and truly all the dumb shit and fucked up shit he did led to that moment.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
That's the thing. The
Because
Batman.
that's how you tell a story.
The Batman Who Laughs was a great character concept when it first started, and then they just put him in everything.
All of it.
It's like, yep, we're gonna just blaster at DC with Batman Who Laughs everything. Just
That's one of those things I definitely call, bro. The moment I saw his design, I think Thor showed it to me, right? It was you, right?
Yeah.
And I think you showed me like a statue of the character or whatever. And the moment I saw it, I was like, that's about to get overpopular. I'm sorry, that's about to become overly popular. And that character's not going away. I literally said that when he showed it to me. It was like, that character's not going away. It's not. The design, so
No.
nobody cares what feats that character has. All that matters is the design.
No,
right?
no.
The
It's the name.
moment,
It's the name. Batman.
yeah. Yeah, that. Oh my God.
Well, it's that it's Batman. Regardless of how the story tried to tell it, right? It's that it's Batman fused with Joker, right? Regardless of how the story tells you it's Batman who turns himself into the Joker. Like, no, it's Batman literally fused with Joker. Like, and that's you can't outsell that because, like you said, it's name. You can't outsell a 2-for-1 deal like that, my nigga. You don't just call play man thinking your wall gonna stay intact. That's
the biggest issue I have with Batman Who Laughs is everyone's go-to argument is this is Batman when he decides to kill. This is him not holding back. This is what he's capable of. No, he don't think like that. That's all Joker.
I'm trying to see something. I was trying to go with it.
I bet Batman missed those guns. I bet sometimes he thinks about those first goons he shot. He's like, I want to go back. Right, because the grappling hook didn't have to still have a pistol grip. Think about that.
But that's also another misconception about Batman's no kill rule. It's not that he won't kill; it's that he won't kill with a gun. But everybody's like, "Oh, Batman has this no kill rule." No, because he don't mind dropping you off a cliff. he don't mind beating your brains in to your putty.
Them sentient machines, alien. Like, I think people have it weird in their mind. Like, if it's an alien, then it's not alive or something like that, right?
Throwing you through a brick wall. Now talk.
Like, they'd be like, oh, it's an apparition from the past. It was alive and kicking. It kicked him.
Breaking your arm. Now talk.
Yeah.
Where were the other drugs going? Oh yeah, that's the
line,
thing,
bro. That's the line. Yeah.
Where were the other drugs going? Swear to me,
bro. I love that line. Oh my god. My wife hates that, bro. She'll be serious, like we'll be getting into it. She'll be serious. I just randomly. I love that.
Also, the worst thing that happened to the DC movies was that movie.
The Dark Knight trilogy just.
The Dark Knight trilogy.
What the hell are you doing?
Who? Admit Batman?
Me? That's what I'm doing. Smoking. And I'm on a video with you.
Oh my god.
All the time. I don't understand.
But yeah, no. That's the Dark Knight trilogy is the worst thing to happen to DC movie because then DC got into their head of, oh yeah, let's make every movie dark.
And that's why Shazam was such a success and great movie, because it was different. Fuck yous.
That movie was trash, man. That movie
Y'all
was
have
trash.
an IQ of a snail. Fuck up.
It's just trash. It's almost Thor 2 trash. Like, bro, like
No.
like that. Like, oh my god.
Shazam was a great movie.
It's almost like Hulk. It's almost Hulk trash. Like, oh,
Which Hulk hold up here?
Which Hulk?
Hold on.
The original
The
Hulk.
first one, nigga. What are you talking about? Edward Norton Hulk was amazing.
No, I'm talking about 2003, 2005. Talking about those Hulks.
Nah, nigga. Edward Norton Hulk was fucking amazing. What?
No,
Did you
he's
see
talking
it?
about the other one.
I'm talking about the other ones. I'm talking about the ones before Edward Norton.
I'll have you know Luke
No, I
Ferrigno's
know.
Hulk was
He said,
amazing.
which one you talking about? And I'm like, no, nigga, he wouldn't have been talking about Edward Norton. That's the only real Hulk we ever had on screen.
Luke Ferrigno's Hulk is amazing. What are you on about, Magic?
Oh my
Shit,
god.
the other, what is it? Mark Ruffalo Hulk ain't even got no neck.
Shut the fuck
He's
up.
got no neck. Hold up.
Hold up, y'all didn't know that? Oh, you think I'm just talking that shit? Yeah, Mark Ruffalo Hulk ain't got no neck.
How you get your ass whooped into an education?
Seriously.
Hulk came out there like, man, I tried to go against Thanos. Thanos told me this ain't the way to go, man. I was a part of these streets, and these streets have taught me that's not the way. Let me take pictures with kids now. Selfie. Bruh, how you get beat to how you get beat into pop culture.
Mark Ruffalo's Hulk got an act. The fuck you on him, man? I got really worried there.
Yo, I want to know how he held them tacos. Can we talk about that? How that nigga pick up them tacos? How that nigga pick up them tacos, man? That don't make no sense. Nigga ain't supposed to be picking up no tacos, man.
And then Nebula like, watch out, they got an idiot on the runway.
And then Georgie's there in the background. That's what he's on about.
My nigga Eminem out here like, my prosthetic arm keeps crushing my hard taco. And this nigga home picked the bitch up like, here, have two. Like, what the fuck? Hey, I have definitely enjoyed it, but I obviously can't stay. So, I can barely even see on my screen right now. And if I go in the house, my daughter is not going to make this a peaceful transition.
No, it is not. So we could actually cut that right here.
Yeah.
Even though this went from a segment of actually having conversation to just niggas hanging out now.
Yo, you know what? That's what we should do. We should just literally just call it a session with some nerd niggas. That's what we just call it.
Pretty much. This has been Nerds of Combat with Gara, Thor, Batman, and Negro Lantern.